Amburuko yetu amwamimi aveshe omo tunokwea dhimburu kweni onge twafiki mokapitoro toline mokapitoro.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, of course, every Namibian was happy when we achieved our freedom and genuine independence, because colonialism was oppression and enslavement, and we rose with our heads up, and even though the apartheid regime of South Africa was more equipped with the weapon of suppression, we managed to escape, and they went out of our country. That time, Tanzania was the first independent African countries in Sadaka region. Congo Kinshasa was in June the same year, but there was problems in Congo Kinshasa. So we went to petition the United Nations, but this did not help. The apartheid regime of Foster and Malana, they say they cannot give a land to Kafas, so they use the terminology. But we were encouraged, of course, by the achievement of independence, first of Tanzania in Sadaka region, followed by in 1960, in December 1960, followed by Zambia, I think in 64, Zimbabwe in 1980, and 1975, Angola and Mozambique. So we had now a long border with the Free Republic of Angola. The President Agustin Neto, the first president, as you can see him there in Rwanda.
Okay.
So said that we must stand up and fight. So he gave us support. So we have a long border now from the border with Zambia, Katima Muliro, up to the Atlantic Ocean with the free independent Angola. So we were able to train our combatants, the People's Liberation Army Namibia, planned SWAPO's military wing. We were able to attack the enemy and defeat the enemy at the battlefront. But still the apartheid regime of South Africa still struggled. So the United Nations Committee on Namibia was involved and tried to find the ways and means for us to negotiate for our independence. But the first meeting, they proposed that we should meet in the Windhoek. And then we said, no, we can't meet in the Windhoek because it's possible they will arrest us. We can go and meet in Pretoria. We said no. Then a proposal was made by the UN to meet in Geneva. So we met in Geneva, and under, of course, the chairmanship of the UN. We flew from Rwanda, Angola, to Paris, via Paris to Geneva. When we arrived in Geneva, we were received by the United Nations at Committee on Southwest Africa, on Namibia at the time. They receive us, they process us through diplomatic, and they accommodate us at the hotel. So when we entered, the hall was full. The hall was the hall of the League of Nations. You know, the League of Nations, which existed before the Second World War. So when we went in, the hall was full, TV from all European journalists. Now, when we entered the hall, this secretary did not take us at a place where there are seats reserved for the SWAPO delegation. She just disappeared. Now, I saw a South African delegation set already where there are microphone. I just went and catch this boy, threw him on the ground, and I sat down, and I said, Namibia is our country. It cannot be represented by foreigners or who are oppressing our people. So I make my statement, and then after completing my statement, the SWAPO women country who were around, they also say, really, so we walk out, come back to Africa, continue with the armed struggle. So then the United Nations, of course, later on came and organized the elections, which was based on one man, one vote. So we insisted. And they were, when the election took place, SWAPO won the election. And then we formed the first democratic government in the Republic of Namibia. And here we are. You have seen it, we are developed. There was no university here. There was bad education. Secondary school were only for whites. But you can see we have developed the country. And also, at that time, the South Africans, they destroyed the railway line from Aus to Rindrich. And they destroyed. There was even in the newspaper published that any farmer who wanted to buy a siding railway line, they can buy that. So then the time of independence, they occupy Walvis Bay. They claim that Walvis Bay was not a part of Germany, Southwest Africa. What is we have achieved was Germany, Southwest Africa. So they occupy Walvis Bay. Now that's the South Africans. So we continued, and then I warned them that if they don't move from Walvis Bay, we would attack them with the Katusha artillery gun. And they knew we had that artillery gun. So the South Africans proposed that we should have a joint venture over Walvis Bay's administration. So I appointed Comrade Nangoro Mpupa, the vice president, and he went. Now, when he went there, the boy he found there, he said he cannot talk to Kafas. So Nangoro Mpupa, of course, was given his security and also amount of money to buy houses. So he bought houses and occupied. Now, and they continue to, but they don't talk with this boy who was there. He's insisting that he can't talk to Kafas. So, Kafas, you know, it means stupid people. So, one day, our commander-in-chief, commander of the Namibia police in Swakopmund, his name is Commander Nguo. He went to visit Nangoro Mpupa. But before he visited Nangoro Mpupa, he went to the police station just to pay a courtesy call to his counterpart. Now, when he entered the police station, the commander of the Boas was not there. He went to the toilet. Now, Nguo just sat on the chair, like there, with a AK-47 on the table. Now, when did this boy find his table was going to just run away? And then they all ran away. Now, when he ran away, he went to the one who doesn't want to receive Nangoro Mpupa. the four of them ran away. So Walvis Bay was liberated without firing a gun. And of course, we take over Walvis Bay. And I invited the frontline states, so we went and celebrate the liberation of Walvis Bay. This is how we liberate Walvis Bay. Of course, it was a small harbor. Now we have extended. Yeah, all big shipping line used to go to Cape Town. Now we have expanded the harbor of Walvis Bay more than Cape Town even. So all shipping line anomalies that stay outside the harbor in the deep sea. Now they can land. If you go to Walvis Bay, you will find that what I'm saying is the truth.
Yeah.
So also now, goods destined for SADC countries, coming from either Europe or the Americas, they dock at the Walvis Bay. Then from Walvis Bay they go through the road to Botswana, to even to Pretoria, and to Zambia, to Congo. So this is how we liberate Walvis Bay. Say Guerrera no swapo, utpandu kotwara Namibia. Well, you can see yourself. Education, which is very important, because education is the better future for everyone. So we have now primary schools, secondary school, technical schools, and the University of Namibia. So we are no longer sending our students to foreign countries, unless on a special. But now we have all the faculties, including medicine, engineering, electronic engineer. You find them there at the University of Namibia. So, but still, we need to educate more our children all over the country, not only around the window, but the whole country. So education must continue to be provided and increased, because once we have educated people, then we will be able to eradicate poverty, disease, and ignorance. Well, the problem is that poverty is still there, and poverty can only be eradicated by poverty once we have enough agriculturalists who will be looking after our cattle, and to have enough beef, small livestock like goats and sheep, fish, so that our people will have enough food to eat. And if we have a surplus, we export it to other countries, as we do now. And we still to make sure that education is a priority above all other priorities, starting from kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, up to the university level and technical institutions. Because education is improving everybody's life. First of all, there must be peace and stability. Mm-hmm. And this starts with the respect of our traditional leaders. And then all of our elders, and especially women, so that we are able to proceed with the peace and stability in our country. And I think you have seen it. You can walk on now, nobody will say, hey, Mace, we are kafar, as it used to be by the apartheid regime of South Africa. So I think Namibia is a peaceful country. And I think it's even recognized by the international community that Namibia is a peaceful country. And therefore it's also developed. It is developing to ensure that our aim and objective of the SWAPO party is to ensure that we eradicate poverty, disease, and the ignorance from the face of our country and that of the continent of Africa as a whole, because we are members of the African Union, and we have to make a contribution with everything possible to ensure that there is peace and stability on the African continent. And there can be no peace if there is poverty. Well, I call upon all the Namibians to respect our elders, to respect His Excellency President Haki Geigo and all our ministers, and to ensure that the peace and stability prevails in every age of the Republic of Namibia. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.